It'd be faster to ask who isn't a Beyond baby at this point. Nen Mastery, strong. Pullout game, weak. Hunter x Hunter, chapter 413. Lots going on this chapter, but I'll keep it brief as there's actually another topic I want to focus on afterwards. Chapter quick thoughts first. Benjamin, what do you mean kill all the other prince's private guards who aren't hunters? He probably doesn't count provisional hunters as hunters either. If Benny tries laying his grubby mitts on Theta, he's about to learn what a real monster is. A hands-off big buffoon. That's part of Sereidnik's collection. First question I kind of had this chapter. Who gets Benjamin's marshmallow men, his troops, after he dies? Is it Queen Unma, which means Halkenberg would be the one giving them orders? Is it Benjamin's illegitimate child, who, again, we know neither the gender nor age of? The kid could be anywhere from under a year old to a full-grown adult. In fact, we could have met them already in the arc. You've heard of Guess Who's Beyond's Kid. Get ready for the spin-off Guess Who Benjamin edition. Benjamin's the oldest prince, so if you see him around 40 years old, minus 18, his kid could be as old as their early 20s already. Halkenberg does appear to be transferring out of Balsamilko's body, so hopefully that means we get Balsamilko back. He's one of my favorite marshmallow men, so hopefully he's okay. More of him, please. It's not a Hunter x Hunter side character becoming plot relevant without undergoing Togashi yassification. We saw this happen with Borkson recently as well. Furikov somehow looks more disturbing with the anime moe eyes. He looks manic, high, which is probably not the case, but it's super unsettling. Bro's 2 seconds away from professing his love to Benjamin-sama and asking if he needs a spotter. Benjamin is growing on me, but he will not be able to defeat Sereidnik. And in fighting him, he'll probably make Sereidnik even more powerful. Perhaps Ben will push him hard enough, Sereidnik will apply his first Nen restriction, and his power will evolve. We got our first Beyond Curse Baby reveal since Long He introduced the concept in 401, and it's the one character that no one guessed, which makes me think the Furikov reveal is a narrative distraction. It is one answer, but it's not the important one. Lest we forget, there are more curse babies out there, at least 5 more, and that's not even counting the weaker ones, which we don't know what the weaker curses do either yet. I still do like the theory Bobby Mina is a curse baby as well, or knows about them, as his reaction to the Long He talk with Kurapika was quite suspicious. It almost looks like he knows what they're talking about. If Bobby Mina was a curse baby and he knew Long He was a curse baby as well, then perhaps he could have inferred she revealed that information to Kurapika. Additionally, perhaps that's why Bobby Mina and Furikov get along so well, as indicated by their banter in chapter 411. Perhaps they're half-brothers. Could some of Beyond's curse babies know the targets of their curses? As soon as Long He dropped the curse baby information, I knew the specifics would become incredibly important to the succession war going forward, and in this chapter we already see it playing a major role. Long He says the curse babies don't know who their targets are, even stating, "We don't think our targets are simply the princes we were assigned to." Yet Furikov seems pretty confident his cursed target is Prince Benjamin, which is why he couldn't let Unma kill him, as his death would kill Benjamin, and he assumes Benjamin's Spirit Beast's power. But how is he sure his target is Benjamin without having been told? I think it's possible Beyond outright told some of the curse babies who their targets were, or heavily hinted it to them, if he thought that would yield beneficial results. Long He doesn't know who her target is because she would try and subvert his plans, but as we can see, Furikov thinking his target is Benjamin merely primed him for manipulation. Some of the other curse babies could also potentially know the identities of their targets. We've got to find an exorcist ASAP because the curse baby situation is so dangerous. The existence of the curses makes it risky to kill enemies, as anyone could be a curse baby, and Kurapika killing a random jobber could somehow fulfill the final condition for the curse to activate and kill Wobble or Phobal or Yami or any of the other younger princes, whoever is cursed. There are definitely complexities to the curse activation conditions we don't know about yet. It's always possible a curse baby hasn't fulfilled the conditions, so killing them will do nothing. But what if that's not the case? What if they have fulfilled the conditions and killing them will insta-kill Wobble? That's not something we can chance. Also, curse babies opens the princes up to another lane of danger. The tactic to hunt down and kill the curse babies rather than their associated princes becomes a possible strategy. Instead of battling past all a prince's guards and fighting their guardian spirit beast, if you kill enough jobbers, there's a chance you could trip the death curse, bypassing any protection they could have. This makes identifying which curse baby is paired with which prince one of our top priorities. If we can figure out which curse baby is assigned to Saraidnik, there might be some hope of killing him. Which obviously means we won't be figuring that out. Beyond won't activate the curse condition. Saraidnik's curse baby is not someone we can or want to kill. What if Longkey's target is Saraidnik? Could Kurapika really kill this ally in cold blood? Or more likely, I don't think Saraidnik has a curse baby. It's not a guarantee every prince has a curse baby. There are 14 princes, but only 10 confirmed curse babies. There could be more than 10, but the way it's phrased conveys very clearly to me the number of strong curse babies, which are the only ones who inflict death for death, is less than 14. The number of strong curse babies is between 10 and 13, which means at minimum, one prince doesn't have a curse. And of course, with Kurapika's luck, that would be Saraidnik. And that makes even more sense if you subscribe to the Saraidnik is Beyond's prince child theory. He may not put a curse baby on his own kid. Wait, why is Saraidnik Beyond's kid, and why is Dwazil Saraidnik's real mom? And maybe that's why Unma supports Halkenberg, because Saraidnik is not actually her child. And Saraidnik and Halkenberg were baby swapped. That possibility just hit me like a brick flying off a truck on the highway. 0% proof, 100% gut feeling. Holy shit, I've connected the dots. I've connected them. Someone please prove me wrong in the comments below. That's for sure the worst case scenario. Of course, I also did love how this chapter showcased the bond Benjamin has with his marshmallow men. They're not jobbers to him, they're his crew, which is why he forgives Firikov for, let's call it as it is, fucking him over. Even if he can't kill Firikov for fear of activating the curse, Benjamin could have always thrown him in jail, treated him harshly, but no. Benjamin accepts Firikov back, even blames himself for doubting Firikov's loyalty. That's his homie. Not a particularly smart homie, because if Unma could really activate the curse with a snap of her fingers, what's stopping her from doing it right now after Firikov poisoned Ben? In fact, why would she need Firikov to poison Ben at all if she already had an instant death switch on him? Unless Beyond is manipulating her to get martial law instated, which... Which is to say, I question if any of the Marshmallow Men will willingly serve another prince, even if they are reassigned, even if they're reassigned below deck. They might try to find their way back upstairs. Unma might have to throw them all in jail for fear they'll try to assassinate Halkenberg. That's enough of that. For the rest of the video, I want to talk more about last chapter's reveal because it affects so much. This will be chapter 412, Thoughts Part 2. Could there be more Oito is not telling us? Yes. But what I want to emphasize more is how much it makes sense Oito did something like the baby swap. It would be more surprising if she didn't. It's completely in character for an intelligent mother who cares about her child to not passively wait for others to help her. Again, before the hotel interview, Oito did not know the guard she would hire would be Kurapika. She thought it'd be an assassin trying to kill Halkenberg. That's not someone likely to be trustworthy. If she didn't plan anything in advance, that would basically be giving her baby up to the slaughter. The baby swap plan is one Oito formulated before meeting Kurapika, so it's not a personal slight against him. Oito is very intelligent. She's freaking out, yes, and she's a non-combatant. But think back to our first encounter with Oito. Her character introduction was her outwitting Kurapika with the wording of her job posting. She purposefully wrote her post to make it seem like Halkenberg because she was trying to attract people who would apply thinking it was Halkenberg, and that's what happened. Kurapika applied because he thought it was Halkenberg. Power skillers mark that down as a feat. This character's first scene is her beating Kurapika in a matchup of intelligence. It shouldn't be that much of a shock. A smart character would continue to be smart. Taking a step back from Kurapika tunnel vision, the bigger picture is, by pulling off the baby swap, Oito intentionally disqualified, to the best of her knowledge, both babies, which is the best thing she could have done. She did not try to sacrifice Phobal by offering him up instead. Oito didn't know Nen or superpowers, magic, voodoo, whatever existed before Kurapika told her on the ship, so to her, this is a completely valid and sensical play. She was told there were conditions Princess must meet to qualify, so she made it so neither baby met those conditions, so neither qualifies. There's no way she could have known putting Wobal's hand in the superstition urn magically bound her to the ship, making it so the baby dies if she leaves the ship. She didn't even know Nen existed. Oito subverts Nen conditions, or did her best to subvert them, without even knowing Nen was a thing, which would be the way to hinder the ceremony and protect her kid. The only better action she could have taken would be to kill one of the other princes before the departure ceremony, as that was stated to be a fail state for the death game, and that's not a possibility for her. Oito could not have done that. If she could, she would be an entirely different character with different values and a different personality. Disclosing that fail state is a big risk, and by taking that risk, the succession ceremony is further strengthened when it does succeed. Very Nen gamble. It can be assumed every prince was told the information Saraidnik was given in chapter 349, so yes, I do think Oito saw that possibility. If she killed before the contest started, the contest would not happen, or at the very least be delayed. But this is a woman who executed planned baby swap to protect her daughter, yet did not try to swap out herself as well. Oito resolved herself to die on the boat if that meant her daughter would be safe. That's the base premise of the chapter 358 scene, where she starts shaking because Kurapika says there may be a chance that she could live. It was only then the fear hit her, because before Kurapika, Oito was so certain she would die, she almost felt at peace. No need for fear if the end is inevitable. The only person she was willing to let die was herself. This is the woman who didn't even think about her own safety when Momose's life was in danger, a child that was not even her own blood. Oito was never going to be able to kill one of the other princes before the death game started, even if that would have ended it. That wasn't even an option for her, meaning the option she did choose was the best one she could have. And it's a solid play. Just by not communicating and trusting each other more, Oito and Kurapika's moves are clashing in recent chapters. I still question how smart it was for Kurapika to reveal Oito's hand to the entire Nen class and thus make it public knowledge to all the princes and queens and guards and assassins Wobble might not be Wobble. Revealing it to Benjamin and Zong, their allies, maybe, but everyone? What if a prince goes to the king and asks him, hey, room 1014 is saying that's not Wobble, do I still have to kill her? I would rather not kill an innocent baby if I don't have to. And Nasubi goes, oh, Wobble isn't on the ship? Let me call the mainland and get her drone dropped over here on the day 14 delivery USPS priority mail style. It would render Oito's efforts null. Personally, I do think Wobble is already on board. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I think it's actually possible Oito could know Wobble is already on board because, again, Wobble is an infant who is under a year old. At that age, some babies are still breastfeeding, and we haven't heard anything about a return voyage either. Would a mother really want to leave her infant child to just fuck off to some unknown continent for years and years potentially? Perhaps Oito thought Wobble would be safe as long as she wasn't on Tier 1 where the succession war was going on, which is why she didn't assure Kurapika, don't worry, Wobble is not on the boat. She just said, I don't know where Wobble is. She probably thinks Wobble is somewhere downstairs, but Kurapika would not know that for sure. Obviously, Kurapika has some sort of strategy beyond the basic one stated in 412 for disclosing this information, or at least I sure hope he does, maybe relating to figuring out the Beyond Prince situation as a commenter suggested, but the risks are so risky, and they won't be risks for himself, they'll be risks for Oito and Wobble. Queen Oito could be tried for treason against the crown for this attempt at undermining the royal contest. I'm sure Kakin has executed people for less. In fact, they've executed people for just taking one glimpse at a royal's face in the past. And for Wobble, if she is on the ship, this reveal lights a fire under the other princes to find her, as there's always the possibility she actually is an eligible contender in the death game. So yes, it's possible Oito is hiding more stuff from Kurapika, but I don't think that's the takeaway we should be focusing on. After seeing what Oito can do, instead of viewing her as a potential enemy, I think we should view her as a potential asset. If Kurapika and Oito can get on the same page and further their trust a little, Oito could be an extremely valuable ally for Kurapika. Even if she never becomes proficient in Nen, never becomes a combatant, having another strategist on the team is super beneficial, especially when Kurapika is biased toward certain things and his logical reasoning suffers when factors like the Scarlet Eyes and the Phantom Troop come up, which is not an if, but a when. After our look at the updated coffin chamber in 413, I'm more convinced than ever the number of princes participating in the succession war is important. It's a magical ceremony with a magical device which has slots for each dead prince and a little flame that lights up when a dead prince is put in their coffin. All the slots should be filled for the ceremony to succeed. I truly think so. Which means princes somehow escaping the game once the coffin room was built and the participant count was decided is probably a weak point of the ceremony, meaning King Nasubi has likely done everything he can to ensure that doesn't happen. I'm saying the prince count must be 14 or 15. If there are less princes, that means empty coffins. Any more, that means extra bodies. Which means at minimum, one of the three between Wobble, Phobble, and Oito must be eligible in the death game still. Safest guess is Wobble is on the ship and eligible, though we explored other options last week. Don't think I showed the full "are they a participant in the death game" chart in last chapter's video, but here it is. If we do want to assume a guardian spirit beast is a required qualification for the princes, we can argue it isn't, but counterpoint, guardian spirit beasts are cool, so I would prefer if every prince had a beast. If we mark the three conditions we covered last week, be a prince, be on board the ship, and attend the departure ceremony, and seed earn participation as the fourth condition, as you can see, there is a lot of room for shenanigans. You could even argue maybe the king found out about the baby swap and forced Phobal to participate in the seed urn ceremony, and we just don't know about it because Oito doesn't know, which would remove the only X on the chart. This week, though, I want to explore one of the biggest mysteries which resurfaced after the baby swap reveal. If Phobal did not truly participate in the seed urn ceremony and does not have a Nen beast, what is this dark aura which emanated from his crib at the end of chapter 358? Mystery, Cradle Aura, where, room 1014 aboard the Black Whale 1, when, chapter 358, this happens before the departure ceremony and before Woody dies. So I think technically we can say that the aura emanates from Phobal's crib before the death game officially begins. What? A mysterious dark haze emits briefly from Phobal's crib, though it disappears when Kurapika turns around for a better look. Who is responsible? That's our mystery of the hour, and I know the answer. The culprit is, drumroll please, Nen. I'm jesting, but at the same time, not really. By that, I mean, we can all agree the dark aura is some sort of Nen, right? So maybe we can work backwards from there instead of trying to face it head on and getting confused. Let's start with what type of Nen is it? The four major possibilities I can think of: 1, the aura was a Nen beast, a guardian spirit beast. 2, it was a standard Nen ability. 3, it was a beyond baby curse. 4, it was Nen after death. In each of these categories, I tried to come up with a plausible theory. Also, I made a chart for this one because it was getting a little complicated without a visual, so we'll go down each branch and explore a couple ideas. First possibility, the aura came from a Nen beast manifesting. Only a couple characters have Nen beasts: Wobble, the 13 other princes, and maybe Oito. Firstly, the baby in room 1014 is not the real Wobble as revealed in chapter 412. Secondly, the aura being Phobal's Nen beast was debunked in chapter 412 as well. With the reveal, he isn't Wobble and did not participate in the seed urn ceremony, and there's no reason for it to be one of the other prince's beasts manifesting in room 1014 at this point in the story. 2 points of discussion. The first, I really think, for this mystery in particular is the most important. It's the timing. The Cradle Aura scene in chapter 358 happens before the departure ceremony and the Succession War officially begins and the other prince's beasts officially manifest. I think the timing might be my biggest issue with this theory, though we weren't with any of the other princes on the eve before the death game, so technically still entirely possible every prince had some sort of dark aura beginning to manifest around them before the departure. We just don't know either way. Why can Oito see other guardian spirit beasts if she's a prince? Yes, I've come up with a patch for my theory from last video. Hear me out, hear me out. We'll do technicalities first and actual arguments after that. It is technically not confirmed Oito saw the beasts themselves specifically. When Kurapika, Oito, and Wobble go to meet Zhang Lei, Kurapika says Nen awakening will allow the sight of the usually unseen, and it's implied Oito sees Zhang Lei's beast floating behind him. But it's never verbally confirmed. What we're seeing as the audience is exactly what Oito is seeing as a character, which opens us up for possibilities like Oito saw some sort of aura or image the beasts were projecting and not the beasts themselves. Another potential explanation, especially for the spotting of Saraidnik's Nen beast, Kurapika shot Oito with Little Eye shortly before she saw Zhang and T-Dog's beasts, potentially creating some sort of stealth dolphin / Little Eye filter over Oito's usual sight. The sighting of Saraidnik's beast especially was explicitly through the point of view of the bug as it crawled through the vents with Little Eye active, and the wording of that ability specifies it's a transfer of the bug's senses to the user, not the other way around. It's not that the user is seeing as if they themselves was the bug, which could potentially bypass the guardian spirit beast sight limitation. It's a possibility. But the better explanation would be Oito can see Nen beasts because of the nature of Oito's hypothetical beast itself. After all, it's not a clean-cut rule that other princes can't see guardian spirit beasts ever, period. It's princes are typically not able to see guardian spirit beasts, though as HxH beast shows, extenuating circumstances / individual beast powers are a canonical outlier to this rule. It is possible in certain situations, certain cases, for princes to see spirit beasts. Prince Fugetsu can see HxH beast, who is a guardian spirit beast. As guardian spirit beasts reflect their hosts, what power might Oito manifest? I came up with some placeholder names for my guesses because Nen ability names are so much fun. Only a couple beasts have names like Fugetsu's magic worm, but these could also double as potential future Nen ability names. Nen beast power possibility A, I named this one Remarkable Creatures Skylight. My first thought was some sort of sensory ability. Perhaps danger sense. It's possible Oito's beast activates when she feels her baby is in danger and allows her to perceive the threat, bypassing the usual princes can't see Nen beasts rule by classing the awareness itself as the beast's limited power. So while other beasts can do crazy things like brainwash an entire boy band cult or allow Fugetsu to essentially teleport to anywhere else on the ship, a power that's solely true sight / danger sense with no active retaliatory power, that definitely be a balanced trade-off, I think, a fair exchange of both offense and defense given up for intel. Perhaps when the danger grows, Oito's spirit beast's powers even increase proportionally into something like clairvoyance, up to even a possible highest state where she could catch a glimpse of an alternative future. If you catch my drift, I'm trying to give Oito a Nen beast power which would allow her to help Kurapika in an emergency situation against Saraidnik. He pulls out the parallel future. Well, what if Oito can catch a peek at his actions in the space where no one else can see him? Very, very hopium, but I think an information gathering Nen beast power would suit Oito a lot because her intelligence is her best form of defense. She can't fight, but she can think pretty good, and more information would complement that strength. We can always nerf it more too by saying it doesn't activate when she herself is in danger, only when her baby is in danger. Nen beast power possibility B, I called this one And the Sun, Legal Guardian. Legal Guardian is a preemptive protective type, a bit like how HxH's beast benefited the person she loved most by reflecting their sibling relationship. Oito's beast reflects the relationship a mother has with her child. It allows her to designate a ward, who in this case would be the baby Phobal, and essentially transfers the protection she would have as a guardian spirit beast host herself to that ward, essentially giving the ward all the benefits while keeping the energy drain drawback for herself by still feeding the beast with her own aura, thus putting herself in more danger but also potentially removing some of the usual Nen beast host restrictions. This would allow Oito to be a prince and be feeding a Nen beast with her aura unconsciously, but also give Phobal some sort of guardian spirit beast protection, while also allowing Oito to be attacked by Nen beasts and potentially allow her to see them, since the person protected by the beast would be her ward and not herself. It would be the Nen equivalent of a mother shielding her baby from a bullet with her own body. Literally, because we see Benjamin's spirit beast stop a bullet for him. By giving the baby her beast, she protects it from things like bullets while putting herself at risk of getting shot or hurt. This would further support her baby swap ruse as well by making it appear as if Phobal has a guardian spirit beast and she does not, while at the same time remaining in character for both Oito and her themes of motherhood. Remarkable Creatures, by the way, is a reference to the book Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, and the Sun references the book Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, both stories concerning themes of motherhood, the latter especially being a depiction of the sacrifices a mother would make for her child, and the ending of which made me cry profusely. Definitely recommend it. Oito's hypothetical Nen Beast is not the only possible explanation of the Cradle Aura mystery, though it's still one of my favorites as it explains the coffin count mystery in a satisfying way for both. Again, the first thing Cyreinic asks after hearing the requirements for participation in the Succession War is how many competitors will there be? And he's not given an answer, which means we as the audience are not given an answer, instantly indicating this should be a question in our minds, if not the first question. Cyreinic asks it so immediately that it's actually in the same panel as the requirements. You can't even crop out the how many participants question without cropping out half the panel. The manga introduces the base facts of the Succession War, and Cyreinic is instantly asking how many participants, engraving that mystery into the very basis of the Succession War setup itself. The coffin count mystery minutia is an exploration for another day, but there being 15 princes is a completely logical hypothesis from seeing the coffin room. In fact, I really do think the only prince count possibilities are 14 or 15, and Oito would be the most satisfying 15th prince reveal. Not only is she in every shot of all the princes, as she's always holding Wobble, princes, Oito, princes, Oito, princes, Oito, princes, Oito. But there is a way to infer she did participate in the seed urn ceremony. I covered the seed urn stuff in last week's video, link in the description if you want to hear more about the Oito is the 15th prince theory. The aura being Oito's Nen Beast is not a perfect solution, but I do like it more than the theory the Cradle Aura was just some standard Nen ability activating, which is the next possibility. 2. Standard Nen ability. It low-key doesn't make sense for the aura to be someone in the room's Nen ability. It's not Kurapika. Oito is not secretly a Nen assassin. Phobal isn't the evil baby from Stardust Crusaders. At the point in the story where the Cradle Aura appeared, we hadn't even met Bill or Shamanu yet. They're not named or pictured characters, and everyone else in room 1014 is either in jail, dead, or has quit. If it's someone outside room 1014, there really aren't many trailing threads aside from Silent Majority, who could also, I guess, technically be in the room, but please, not everything can be Silent Majority. Though it's honestly likely the Silent Majority mystery could be solved this batch, with everyone in the Nen class potentially being locked up together. It's entirely possible. Silent Majority warrants like a 3-hour video in itself, but hot take, I really do think it'd be most satisfying if Silent Majority's host is one of the original residents of room 1014, since they would have been in the room when Woody died. Not a requirement, but satisfying as a reveal. Setting that aside, the only other person outside the room I could see the Cradle Aura belonging to is Phobal's mother, or I suppose anyone who Phobal had contact with before the hotel swap and knew about the swap, like one of Oito's brothers potentially. But for this theory, we'll just say Phobal's mother as a representative of this hypothetical third party. Oito has 4 siblings and came from poverty. It's completely possible upon seeing their sibling escape poverty into the lap of luxury after marrying the king, the other siblings felt jealous and or were targeted by other parties to set up future plays. I listed a couple here, but really it could be anyone, which is very scary. Anyone who found out about the swap. The train of thought could possibly be one of Oito's sisters saw her escape poverty and went, yes, I would also like to escape poverty, and sought out the Mafia or beyond to help them do so, or the Mafia or beyond sought them out to set up a play. Maybe Phobal isn't even Oito's sister's baby, and the Mafia gave her one so she could suggest the swap to Oito and get a prince of the Kakin Empire in her grasp, and thus hand over Wobble to Morena or another Mafia faction. That would make Oito's sister kinda evil, and mean the Cradle Aura could be some kind of Nen ability she attached to Phobal before the baby swap. Maybe it's some kind of spying ability, giving the Mafia tabs on Phobal and reporting to them any information said around Phobal. If Morena reveals later she knows way more about what's happening on Tier 1 than she should, maybe this would be why. And again, this would apply to any party who knew about the swap and could make contact with Phobal before it happened. Anyone Oito told about the swap beforehand, anyone Oito's sister told about the swap. If Oito's sister is Mafia, anyone in the Mafia, Oito's brothers, the royal army if King Nasabi discovered the plot. It's even possible Queen Unma found out and herself put a spying ability on Phobal. After all, the aura does look vaguely dark and menacing. There's no guarantee it's a beneficial ability. The Nen could be malevolent. Third possibility, the Nen is a Beyond Baby curse beginning to activate. There's so much to unravel with the entire Beyond Curse Babies thing, but hey, did anyone catch that Longhi says Beyond makes a new curse baby or multiple every time a new prince is born? Meaning if Beyond made a new curse baby after Wobble was born, that baby would still be a baby and around Wobble's age right now, like a conveniently timed sister's baby. If Oito's sister was set up in a sham marriage with a Kakin officer when Oito announced her pregnancy, Beyond would have a cursed baby around the same age as Wobble. As the Beyond Curse Babies can use Nen since they're born and instinctively learn Ten and Zetsu, that would mask Phobal's potential Nen ability from Kurapika. The only problem with this explanation is it's easily verifiable or disproven. If Kurapika uses Gyo and checks under Phobal's tongue, he'll be able to verify if Phobal is a curse baby or not. Personally, I'd assume that is the first step Kurapika takes after Longhi reveals the curse baby information, that he checks under the tongues of everyone in the room, which would be Bill, Shamanu, Oito, and Phobal, but that action is not confirmed, so maybe we shouldn't assume an automatic rule out for all of them. Hey, Bill has a connection to Beyond, maybe Bill's the curse baby, maybe Shamanu's a curse baby, maybe you're the curse baby, maybe I'm the curse baby. I really do love this explanation of the mystery though, that the ominous aura over the cradle is the Beyond Baby's curse, because if Phobal is a curse baby and his target is Prince Wobble, that means if Phobal dies, Wobble dies, which is both thematic and very stressful. It would be a Nen enforcement of the idea it's a moral failing to view Phobal as less worthy of life just because he's not a royal. If Beyond truly does believe royals and the people are equal, then this is the epitome of that idea. It makes a Wobble a royal, and Phobal, a lower class citizen, literally equal in the eyes of the Nen link. A life for a life. Somehow we've come up with an idea even worse than Kurapika having to protect two babies. Curse baby Phobal would mean if he fails either child, it's game over. All or nothing. We desperately need more information on the curse babies. For example, what are the activation conditions? Is it a requirement that the curse babies must be the same age as the princes to be an equal lifespan exchange? That's why Beyond had to make a new curse baby every time a new prince was born, and he couldn't just stack up 20 babies in 1 year. But until we get more information, that's where I'm kind of at with this theory branch. Fourth possibility, Nen after death, the succession war itself. This theory ruffles the least feathers, but is also the least interesting, I think. It's the theory the Dark Aura was just the succession war itself, checking Phobal to see if the baby met the qualifications for the contest. Maybe the Nen after death of the Kakin treasure, the Lotus Anchorite, which is said to oversee the contest. There are no arguments to be made for or against this, really. We don't know what the Lotus Anchorite does. Does it look like the Dark Hands all the time? If it does manifest physically, we don't really know. Logically, this checks out absolutely, though this solution effectively hand waves the mystery by marking it as not a big deal. The only thing it would imply going forward is that Nasabi potentially knew the baby in 1014 wasn't Wobble before the game started, but even without the Lotus Anchorite, you can still assume that. In fact, I fully believe Nasabi already knew about the swap before Oito boarded the ship, saying, "Oh, it was just the death game itself, checking up on the princes. Don't worry about it, it's not important," feels like a plot hole patch, even if it wasn't a plot hole, but the intended explanation, because it doesn't contribute to the story. It feels like a bag of cement versus the other explanations being seeds to branch off into future plot developments. Lastly, bonus fifth possibility, Nen After Death, Phoble's Mother edition. The possibilities are low because Nen After Death is rare. Most who pull it off are skilled Nen users like Hisoka and the King of Kakin, though emotions do play a role as shown by Pito and Kacho Beast. What are the chances Phoble's mom, who's likely a regular civilian, has strong enough resolve to form a Nen After Death blessing on Phoble? Though there are a few things stronger in life than a mother's love for her baby, this would also mean Oito's sister was a good person, just maybe Nasabi found out about the baby swap, killed her, and brought Wobble on board anyhow. This possibility is pure hopium, but one of the best case scenarios. I have to take a hit occasionally, or I'll start thinking about how utterly and completely screwed Kurapika is, especially if Sarainik is Beyond's prince kid. Let me have this one hopeful possibility. Those are the 5 theories, but no one ever said they were mutually exclusive. We can mix and match. Although my current favorite explanation is Phoble is a Beyond curse baby, I do also love the way the Prince Oito theory and the Lotus Anchorite checks princes for eligibility theory stacks with it. The latter two can be true as well at the same time, just not as sources for the aura. The aura was caused by Phoble's Beyond curse. Oito is a prince and has a guardian spirit beast, but no beasts manifested until the Succession War officially started in chapter 359, and the Lotus Anchorite checked the princes for eligibility. It just didn't manifest visibly in each participant's room. But yes, that is the chart, and that is this week's discussion. I changed some things with my microphone. If it sounds better, great. If it sounds worse, tell me to change my settings back. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did I successfully defend the Oito is the 15th prince theory? On a scale of no diff to utter humiliation, how badly is Benjamin going to lose to Sarainik? And just how many princes are hitting the compost bin this batch? My current guess is 2 units of fertilizer for the great tree of Kakin.